Hi everyone. I am doing my second update so far. I'm really excited for what God's been doing. And yeah, let's just get started. That's my roommate in the background. Her name is Alyssa. She's from Oregon. She's doing it quiet time right now. She's got her headphones in. But yeah, so let's get started. Last week was really crazy. We were doing Ships Week, which was basically us talking a lot about the ship's history and just learning where we came from and what the ministry was at its start and what it is now and where it's headed. And it was really exciting. And it just so happened to be the week that we signed the papers to gain ownership of this property, which was very exciting. We had a little party. We invited the upper campus on to our little campus, and we just celebrated with them. We really focused on that original call of upper campus and the ship's campus being twins, and working really closely with each other and celebrating each other's victories and mourning each other's mourning times. So that was really special. And Alyssa, stop looking at me. Stop looking at me.
Are you gonna get started?
No. She's from Bend, Oregon.
Yes, good job. What's my last name?
Alyssa Osborne.
What's my social security number?
528797. Okay.
It's awesome.
I love my roommates. Our other roommate is Anna from Germany. She's from Köln. We say Cologne. But yeah, anyway, so last week was really incredible. It was a huge week of transition. Just a lot happening all at once. Yeah, it was really special to go through that and to be part of a big part of history. We can now start doing updates on the building that we couldn't do before. Repairs can be done because we aren't under that ownership of the landlord that we had before that was preventing us from doing all of that stuff. So we get to do that stuff now. It's super exciting. I started Flotilla last week, I believe. I mentioned that on my last update. I started my track time, which is Flotilla. The ministry is essentially yacht based. It's yachts going out to isolated islands and providing medical care and the gospel, just like our big ships do. It's just a lot easier to do on smaller vessels. It's a little more consistent with timing, and it's just easier to get in and out of those areas. There's a cruise ship. You can kind of see it in the background. Cruise ships come all the time. We have our little tent out on the days that the cruise ships come. Stop!
Who is this to?
This is to my supporters.
To your supporters.
Yeah. Or the people that are just following my story. Stop.
Bailey wrote a song.
Can you stop?
And she
I'm
performed
trying to
it. And
do
she
my
performed.
update.
You need to send them the video. She performed a song that her and a really good friend of ours made and wrote. And they performed it, and it's amazing. And she's gonna send you the video now.
It's God's
Because
song.
you guys are all going to ask her about it, and she's gonna send it.
Anything to mention about the last 2 weeks?
Me?
This week and the last week?
Oh my gosh.
This is what I've talked about. Ships Week and us owning the property. And
Oh, that's been big.
yeah,
That's been
yeah,
big.
yeah. How do you feel about this week? Tell them about this week.
This week has been, oh my gosh. I feel like I had surgery on my perspective of not only the Old Testament and how prophetic it is and how alive it is today, but also just surgery on my perspective of
God's
just,
character,
yeah,
right?
God's character and the world. Like, you know, like, yeah. It's been mind-blowing. We've had to have so much time to reflect and process how much information that we've taken in this last week. Has been so
Yeah.
amazing.
The speaker was Jonathan Spainer. He is literally the most knowledgeable Bible scholar
Whoa.
I've ever met in my
And
entire life.
And his testimony is beautiful because he didn't start out that way. He was actually atheist.
Yeah.
His story is just so beautiful.
He mentions multiple times that he's the least likely person
to
be
ever
teaching on the Bible right now.
His GPA was like, what, 1.2 or something,
something like that.
And he is a scholar. Like, he is so intelligent.
He is so intelligent. But he really reframed how God, like, one of the things that really stood out to me was how God used people's cultures and knew the things that were going to get through to them. So they would have covenant ceremonies and procedures that they would go through in that time to form a covenant between nations, between people, and God used that to identify with them. It wasn't because God chose that avenue as a covenant. It's just he knew that that's what made sense to them, so that's the avenue that he chose. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, I just love that it's from Genesis. Like, the first few chapters of Genesis, the Bible's about Jesus. Like, it's just so cool. It is so cool that and then last week, or was it last week? Who spoke last week? Kristen? No,
that was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah.
Last week was Brett and Karen, and then Jonathan spoke on Friday. Yeah.
It's been so much that I have found myself having to write down what I've done that day and the things that I've learned or whatever, because the days are mashing together a little bit because there's so much surgery. There's like surgery going on in our spirits. And I feel like I'm hooked to an IV and I'm just getting so much like from the Lord, just plugged in. Yeah. It's been good. She's my fave. We have a lot of faves here, but
our whole school is incredible.
Oh my gosh. Beyond.
Yeah.
Going back Look at these girls running in the rain. Hopefully they're running for Jesus. I'm just kidding.
Probably not. But anyway.
Goodbye, supporters.
Put your headphones in, please. Nice little add some spice to my update video. But one of the things God has really been showing to me this week is that he wants me to make my prayer time an automatic thing. He wants me to make that the thing I run to instead of people. And that's kind of how I've been walking out this past week. It's been really interesting because we actually found out our outreach locations this week. And before I even knew that we were going to find that out, I started praying to God about what he wanted me to choose when it came time to choose which one I felt called to, because they give you the option to pray into it and feel what God's telling you and what God's leading you to. And it was the same day that I was praying, and I was like, God, what are you leading me to? What are you calling me into right now? When it comes time to choose, what do you want me to choose? I kind of just wanted maybe a word of wisdom, or I don't know. I just wanted some form of direction. And the only thing he said was, you'll know. And I was like, what does that mean? I've never been anywhere other than my other DTS in New Zealand, and I went to Fiji briefly. That's the only two places I've ever been. So I have no gauge for what the rest of the world is like. So I was totally ready for God to call me somewhere outrageous that I wasn't expecting. And all he said was, you'll know. So when we found out the outreach locations, they started saying them. First one was Mexico and Panama, which they're going to 2 locations, it's 1 team. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I could see how that would be fruitful, how that could be a cool outreach. And then they said Italy, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. Shroud of Turin is there. I've always wanted to go see. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I've always wanted to go see the history there, and they have a lot of artifacts from the time of Jesus. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's a cool place to go. And then Flotilla came up. If this is your first time watching one of my update videos, my whole calling in life that God has called me to for 4 years now is ministry in the Pacific Islands. There's a new ministry called the Flotilla Ministry, which I think I may have mentioned, but if I didn't, it's I did. It's the yacht ministry essentially. My track is the same ministry that this outreach team is catering to. And the minute I saw it there, I just knew that is where I'm called to. that is the outreach that I'm called to. Yeah, and I'm just really excited that he spoke so clearly. It seems vague, but he knew what was going to stand out to me. He knew that I was going to question whether it was me wanting to go to Flotilla or if it was me feeling like I was called there. So he spoke that to me before I even knew their locations, and it was super exciting. I don't know for sure if I'm on that team. We actually find out in like an hour and a half what teams we're on, who's on our teams, who our outreach leaders are. I'm so unbelievably excited. I just have a strong feeling that I'm on that team, because I know that if they're talking the same God I am, which they are, that's the team I'm meant to be on. And I'm so excited. Yeah, so that's what's been happening this week. I signed up for NAV school. That's exciting. It starts in September, so I'll be going straight from DTS, from debrief week. I'll have like 2 or 3 weeks in between that and the start of NAV school. So I'm so excited. I'm so expectant for what he's going to be doing, not only in the season that I'm in right now, but in the coming season. Because I get to start my calling that I've been waiting for 4 years, and I get to start it now, and I'm just so unbelievably excited. I'm fully paid for my DTS, for my outreach, but NAV school I will start to fundraise. I think I'll probably start next week. I'm going to talk to some people, see what I can arrange as far as a way for people to give, and I'll send out another update with that information. I'm aiming for around 10,000 for tuition, for everything, for the whole 6 months. And that school is just focused on navigation skills, marine skills, medical, just everything I'll need to know going into the calling that God has called me to, and going into that ministry of Flotilla. I'm just so unbelievably excited. And yeah, I'm just so grateful to be here. Thank you for everybody who's been supporting me and praying for me, and who gave me words of encouragement leading up to this time. It's been so transformative. I've found healing in so many places, and I'm just so grateful to be here. I can't believe I'm here. It's amazing. What? Oh yeah, I gotta do that too. We have homework. But yeah, that's it, I think. Any closing words?
We've only just begun.
We've only just begun. That's it.
That's it. Look at this view.
I'll show you guys.
It's a little muggy out, but that's okay.
It's been pretty stormy lately, but this is it. This is my home.
We withstand.
This is our home base right here. And there's Omar. There's Alyssa. Here's her homework. That's it.
Much love to all of Bailey's supporters.
Peace out, guys.
She's gonna do great things. God
So
is
is
gonna do
she.
great things through her.
She is planning on travel BCC maybe?
Yeah, after this.
So-
It's BCC on location.
Yeah.
So, if anybody wants to pray about that for me, I know you don't know me. If you don't feel that put on your heart, you don't have to. But I really am passionate about it. I don't want to idolize it,
Yeah.
but I want to do it so bad. So if you could pray those doors would be opened, or if God's will or for them to be shut is for them to be shut, you can pray that too.
Alyssa,
Alyssa,
a visionary.
Osborne, social security number is
A Jesus lover. Okay, bye guys.